Guys,
we need to talk about something serious.
super serious.
Shaving.
Shaving.
Remember when you were 14, your dad taught you to shave. That wasn't a very fatherly way for him to behave. You had to watch your first beard floating down the drain. A beard abandoned, a son betrayed.
Stand up
Stand up.
Stand up.
and be a man.
If you're already standing, sit down, then stand up again.
We don't need boys.
We need men.
Is a beard a fashion statement? Is it a lifestyle? I don't know. Who really gets to make those calls? But one thing you can't ever take away from beards at the end of the day is that they will always make you look like a bad.
Welcome to the Rushmore show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more. Kirk, we have started January. We had Ryan on last week talking about our man card being revoked, and we're going to bring back our man card because because today we are going to talk about one of our favorite topics. It's one of kind of like the just iconic things. It becomes more than what it is, and what we're talking about today. We're talking about beards, right? We're talking about facial hair. I got my beard shampoo out right here on display. My my comb here, all kinds of fun stuff, man. So we're taking a trip to the barbershop.
In my day, a barber was a counselor. He was a fashion expert. He was a style coach.
Not to shave it off. Right?
What y'all catch today is that you got no skill, no sense of history. And then, with a straight face, got the nerve to want to be somebody. Want somebody to respect you. But it takes
No shave January, right? Isn't that what they call it?
No shave.
January.
Man.
Yeah, no, but we're gonna have fun today. We're gonna talk about Rushmore facial hair. As a bearded American,
By examining the bearded American.
what do you think about beards? Are you excited for this one?
So yeah, I mean, as soon as I could legally grow facial hair and still go to school,
Right.
I was doing that. You know, I rocked the goatee. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin made that famous. I rocked that joker. And I remember playing like my senior year in baseball, and they're like, who the heck's this man child that has a goatee? But I did that, and then I went military.
Yeah.
So I didn't have it for a while.
For sure.
And then as soon as I got out of the military, kind of made this proclamation that I was not going to officially shave it all off again. And then I had to a few times for a couple different things. So yeah.
Yeah, so I remember in high school, for me, I'll talk about this a little bit later in the episode, but we couldn't have a full facial hair, right? We couldn't have the whole deal. And your sideburns had to be to the ear, right? Like this.
Right, I've seen some pictures, and you had it all the way to the lobe.
I tested it. I went pretty far. I had some mutton chops, man. And I remember it was the second half of my senior year. Literally couldn't have the full facial hair, right? You couldn't have everything rocking. But what I did is I had some mutton chops, man. The limit was to your earlobe. But I tested that a little bit. A couple months left. They stopped me in the hallway. They said, Andrew, you got to shave. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You haven't stopped me this whole time. I had long hair. I had it all. And they gave me this little one blade razor. I had no mirror. And I still shaved it just past where they wanted it, just to kind of stick it to the man.
The man? Oh, you don't know the man? Oh, well, he's everywhere. In the White House, down the hall, Miss Mullins, she's the man.
You know what I mean? And but since then, after that, people ask questions like, "How long have you been growing your beard?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
so how's that?
Since then, Basically since I graduated high school. So what are we talking? 15 years now.
So you kind of, but you kind of clip the ends, right?
Every now and then I will. Yeah. I'll trim it up a little bit. But
so
as far as shaving it, no. It's
so I used to rock. I used to change my facial hair like every other, week or so.
Right.
I had the goatee, and then I went Fu Rockety Black Chocolatey, Fu Manchu. I did that a couple times. I did a little handlebar situation. Okay. I did just the chin strap. I did the full.
You did the bicycle.
I did the full, or I did just the patch. I never did the soul patch thing. Never did that. I was never that guy. But probably it was when Cannon was born. Right. When Cannon was born, he when I would hold him, he loved to kind of just play with my facial hair, and it wasn't really long at that time, but I let it keep getting longer and longer and longer, and then I ended up shaving it for to give my kidney away. I've said that, so that I had a good seal on all my surgery. I gave my kidney away, started it back up again, and then COVID happened. I couldn't stand the whole mask and COVID thing and beard. And so I shaved it down just a little bit for that one. Yeah. And then as COVID kind of grew on all of us, I was like, nah. So I haven't shaved it since then. Right. Now I'm a pretty frequent attender of the barbershop. And I get them to shape it up and do all those things. And I'm pretty good at doing it myself. But I like going there and getting the towel, the smell. He massages my cheeks and stuff.
Make it all the way in here. So I'm using just pretty much what.
I love it, man. I love going to the barbershop.
Yeah.
Do you do the barbershop?
I don't. Actually, the last time I did a barbershop was the day before my wedding. So we've been married 10 years. We went and I got the straight razor. Like he lined it up. He did the whole thing. And I just remember that there was this, you walked into this barbershop and it was mint green everywhere. It was like you were traveling back to the 50s. There's this old man like this. I'm like, I don't want him to come. I don't want him to do anything.
You chose the wrong guy, man.
So, but I didn't go with him. There was a younger guy who did it. But there was this old lady, probably named Melda, or I don't know, something.
Matilda.
Who walked in and brought pies. I'm like, where are we? Let's leave it to Beaver.
Did it have the barbell spindle?
And they were so nice to her. And the second she left, they threw her pies away. They're like, they taste like crap.
Oh!
So it was the funniest.
So here's the thing. Yeah. What I love about a barbershop is that's kind of how our show is. Yeah, it's like we're all hanging at the barbershop. If you've seen the movie, very similar. We're all just talking sports. We're talking games. We're talking life, love, liberty, whatever it may be, in the pursuit of facial hair. And that is where we're going today. We got another amazing new guest, and as you guys out there, Rushmore community, can figure it out, he's got a very nice beard that he's going to put on. So we decided today, because of our guest, because it's Manuary, because we are bearded Americans, to bring another bearded American on.
Let's do it, man.
And talk about the Rushmore of facial hair.
Let's get it.
All right, Rushmore community. We here at the Rushmore Show are always looking for amazing guests. We're always looking for friends. We love people in the faith because that's where our start was. And we've met a few pastors along the way, especially like at Cadre.
Yeah.
And we brought a friend from Cadre that we met along the way. A good friend of ours. He is obviously a bearded American.
Yes.
We're bringing on our friend Rusty Reed. Man, Rusty, what is up? Welcome finally to the Rushmore Show.
Thank you guys so much, man. Hey, we've been talking about this for a couple months about me coming out and being on the show, and so man,
look, it's not a one-time invite. We're going to have you again. We know it's going to be amazing. I love the background. I know that is you. That is a very good touch there for the Rushmore Show. Check that out.
First custom background.
Got to go a little above and beyond.
Look, you put the spindle and everything. Yeah, dude. I really wish your beard looked exactly like that. He's got it's all like nice strokes and the mustache.
That is the one weak spot of my beard is I don't grow great right here.
Yeah, I do. I
can
shaped it right. I kind of shaved that part. I really kind of think I want to get that thing going. I don't know if my wife would like it though.
I am all about the mustache, man.
Yeah. So Rusty, love the facial hair.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, Rusty, glad you're here. Iron Group with me in contract.
Oh, that's right. I forgot y'all were the same
Iron Group. That's why.
Mom,
yeah, man.
Mom, where you at?
Yeah,
where you at, Mom?
yeah. So glad you're here today. Hey, let the Rushmore community. We know what you do, but let them know what is it that you do for a living.
Yeah, so I am in student ministry, really specifically focused in on small groups, specifically in our church. And so I'm at True North Church in North Augusta, South Carolina, right across the border of Georgia. We're really famous for the Masters right across the river, and then we got Nike Eyeballs that comes out, and they have their tournament out here quite a bit. And so yeah, I work with our volunteers specifically that are in our small groups for our student ministry.
That's so cool, man. And you brought up the Masters, and I just want you to just quickly share this story because it is relevant to the beard. And I remember you told me the story. You had to actually trim it down quite substantially. What was the reason for that?
So last Masters I drove for Mitsubishi Powers and drove for Retief Guzman, which is a South African professional golfer, and had to go a little bit more business, I guess, with a little bit more trimmed up beard. And so I won't lie, that's the last time I trimmed it was then. I know you guys were talking about when last time y'all touched it, and so yeah, that's the last time I've really kind of had to trim it a lot.
Yeah, and it grew back right away. So that's the sign of a real man when it grows right back. All you do is think about it, meat on it, and listen to Bruce Springsteen, and it grows right back. Right? Isn't that how? Santa Claus is coming to town. So, man, I'm stoked that you're on the show today. Very glad for you to be here. Obviously, this is a fitting one with all the beards that are in the room today. So what we'll do is we'll move to we start our Rushmores with Rosie. For whatever reason, we determined he's the fourth most important president on the Rushmore, Roosevelt. And before you give away your Rosie, again, we always say it's the hardest one to pick because you're capping it off there. Like 1 and 2 tend to be
I'm talking about drawing a line in the sand, dude. Across this line, you do not
tend to be like jump out at you. 3 and 4 kind of take a little dinging sometimes. But before you give us your Rosie, how did you narrow it down? Because I don't know about you, but when I just wanted to look at research and see what all was out there. There's so many. Picking just 4 is difficult. Well, what's your criteria for making your?
Well, the first thing was I think we all did this because I shot it out to us. It was real easy to log in and go greatest beards ever or something like that, or go with. Yeah. And then you get to these like weird contests like in Germany.
Yeah.
And they're like carousels in the beards and stuff like. I'm like, I've never seen this guy before. If I was building a list, of course these guys would be there. I didn't want to be educated by the beard. I wanted to just be kind of maybe reminded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that one. And so it's really tough because there are a lot of beards out there.
Yes. Yeah. So what's your criteria, Rusty? How'd you narrow it down?
Yeah. So a mixture of mine was, and we'll kind of get into it later. I didn't pick just people. I picked some other things. And so mine was really just, as soon as you thought of their name, you knew what their beard looked like. And so that was my like big thing. Or I even have a couple in here that I'm like, they kind of started it off that way, and then it's kind of became a trend. And so, but really that main focus of as soon as you think of their name, you know exactly what their beard looks like.
I love that because it's an iconic part of somebody's life. Yeah. So that's great. So with that all said, let's start off our mountains. Rusty, you're gonna do the honors of beginning this thing. What's your Rosie? Your number 4 on your Russian facial hair.
Yeah. So Colonel Sanders is my number 4.
Let's
because
go.
you immediately know, and you immediately go to a place like, man, Colonel Sanders.
He's got like the conquistador, if you would.
Yeah. And so like he's got the classic Van Dyke, like 19th century, like. And so, yeah, it's just something that's iconic about it.
Now, here's a fun fact. my mom's dad, my grandfather, never met him, passed away about a year before I was born. He looked just like Colonel Sanders, and he could have posed for him. He could have posed for him. But do you like the new Colonel Sanders? Like, I mean, they were they kind of change them every once in a while. We had Norm Macdonald.
Colonel Sanders has lived on through many actors at KFC. There's now been 9 comedic colonels just since 2015.
Howdy, folks. It's me, Colonel Sanders.
And the newest addition to the Colonel family, Ray Liotta from the movie Goodfellas.
Yeah, a couple different people.
Yeah.
You like the new guy?
Nothing is ever going to beat the OG.
Oh yeah,
I
think they got to go back to the original kind of guy.
I know.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make him a little too modern, but I do. Look, let me tell you what. When I'm putting together my list, Colonel Sanders didn't come up at all, but the second you said it just like you said, your criteria, you go and you see it and you know it, and it's so iconic. So
that's how you got to go. Like, you immediately think of it.
I think also, like, the whole package. It's not, it's the look. The facial hair makes a lot of it, but it's the suit. It's the fact that you get fried chicken with it too. I mean, how much more manly can you get? That's awesome. So great pick. Great pick.
Great pick. Yeah, he didn't even come. Like, I don't even know why that didn't even come up. But that is a great pick. That's a great pick.
What I did to make it a little interesting, if you guys go back and you watch the fast food episode with Dylan, I did something similar. Because fast food was such a broad topic, this is even more broad. I said, I'm going to break facial hair down into 4 subcategories. And I'm going to give you my favorite of those 4. So in their own respect, they're all Georges of that.
Cheating.
You went there.
A little cheating.
I cheat a little bit, but we make the rules, so it's all good. So what I did, and I won't tell you all the subcategories, I'll tell you as I reveal them. That helped me a little bit. It still was difficult after that. But my first category, my first subcategory, I'm going to deem as the wild card category. Okay. We see those beard contests, and we just see there's so many different things that don't necessarily fit into a specific category. And I'm a big music fan. Rock and roll, a lot of frontmen or members are known for their facial hair, and I could have gone so many different routes.
Yeah.
In fact, this one changed about 12 times. I'm not even kidding. But if I'm only picking one wild card, I am going to go with the lead singer of Motorhead, and I'm going to go with Lemmy's facial hair. The whole handlebar. Nice. All the way down, sideburns up here, skip the chin, and right onto the lip sweater, man. I love it. It's bonus points for that crazy mole that he has. I know that's not facial hair, but it's in the same area. Also, it's called the Lemmy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it has its own name for that style. Lemmy is one of the iconic frontmen when you talk about hard rock, heavy metal music. And again, I could have gone a million different routes if I was thinking music here. But I just love it, man. I love everything about his look, and that look made him as iconic really as his voice, everything else that comes with it. So I'm gonna go with Lemmy from Motorhead.
Here's the thing, I didn't even listen to Motorhead.
The Ace of Spades!
The Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades!
A couple songs come on whatever, but
the Rich.
But I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm just like that. Just wasn't one.
It's a blind spot.
Right. A little blind spot. But the minute you said it, I was like, oh yeah. I mean, because he has like the old school Civil War type.
Right.
I mean, like
he looks like Ulysses S. Grant. Like, what's he doing?
I mean, like he looks like he's gonna be coming out like that. Like we looked up that what was that one guy that you showed me? He had like Lemmy's, but like this long.
Way out here.
Yeah. But anyways, that's perfect. What do you think? You know Lemmy?
Yeah, so my brain went to old school Civil War. Like that's always what my brain goes to of like when I hear his name.
Yeah.
So, who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God? That's a quote from him. Anyway.
Who'd win in a wrestling match, Lemmy or God?
Lemmy. God.
Wrong, dickhead. Trick question. Lemmy is God.
So, fun stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go with Lemmy as my Rosie. What you got, Kirk?
I'm catching. Listen, this one was tough. And they all are. They all are tough. This one was tough in a sense that do I want length? Do I want style?
Right.
Do I want iconicness? Do I want somebody who, all of a sudden you grew a beard, but you don't normally have a beard, but you look good in a beard and, that kind of thing. Like I wanted something very similar to you, Rusty. When it's mentioned, when I say the name, you know it. You know it. You see their facial hair because we're talking in that world. If I said that guy, automatically you might go right to his beard, right to his mustache, right to whatever. And that's kind of where I went. And then I was kind of trying to stay in some different realms. I got all kinds of different. I'm kind of going all over. I might be even changing on the fly as I'm hearing your stories because
full disclosure, he was changing it like 5 minutes before recording.
And I went back to the original. To be honest, I went back to the original because I think most of the guys are going to make it on my honorable mention. I think many of the ones that I was going to put on are going to make honorable mention anyways. Here's the thing. You went music right off the bat, and so am I. I'm going with the Beards. The Beards, plural. ZZ Top.
Oh, good one.
Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill.
Yeah.
Like I remember as a kid, she's got legs. She got legs. And I didn't even care about the ladies' legs. I'm looking at the beards flying in the wind. Right. And I mean, if you give it to him, Billy Gibbons is better. It's much more uniform. And if I was looking him up and I was like, oh, he's got a missing patch in the middle now. But that's kind of weird. But when you say beards, right? And even last night when we brought it up, Honey, of all people, is like ZZ Top. And I'm like, don't give it away, honey. Don't give it away. But yeah, ZZ Top. I mean, you can't say much more. Long beards, they are rock and roll. Two guys, both play the guitar, both really awesome. That's it. That's where I went.
That's iconic, right? Iconic. Rusty, you're looking a little ZZ Top right now. What you think about that one?
So that was way, like, I debated on putting him on the list. Like, it was a long debate. So I had way down there. He is way down there because I was like, man, a weird thing about me, I'm not a big music person.
Huh?
Like, I can listen to music and I'm like, this is nice, but my wife always jokes, like, she'll in the car, like, she'll be belting out songs. She's like, you never sing in the car. You're so weird.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Like, all the time, like, you never sing in the car. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't. And so,
well, I sing in the car. I just never sing the right words.
Well, if you watched last week, I sing in the car, but it's Celine Dion and Shania Twain.
Yes, Celine Dion, Shania Twain.
She did not have a beard. But anyway, yeah, so great
pick. Thank goodness. All right. No bearded ladies. No bearded ladies. This is Manuary.
Yeah, we didn't add any bearded ladies.
Rusty. Next guy on the mountain, TJ Jazzy Jeff. That is our rendition, if you will, of Thomas Jefferson, right? TJ Jazzy Jeff. Where are you going with number 3? You've drawn the line. Now it's kind of like building that castle out. Where are you going?
Yeah, so I was back and forth between my number 3 and my number 2, and so my number 3, I'm deciding now, and so I'm gonna go Sam Elliott.
Oh yes,
Like,
yes,
just the classic walrus mustache. Just like the moment you say his name, the moment you think of him, you're like, all right, I know that stash.
I want, honestly.
I like your style, dude.
I kind of want Sam Elliott to narrate.
I was going to say it because
he has such a great voice too.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
I love it. So I'm crossing him off my Benjamins because he was there. He was there.
He was on my Benjamins.
The only reason he didn't make it in my list is I felt like his voice was more iconic. I mean, his mustache is brilliant, but his voice.
He's got that one that kind of like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it though. I'm a big fan. Sam Elliott. Fantastic.
Can I just say something about a mustache?
Please do.
Obviously, I'd love to have the whole waxed kind of mustache. Even get a little tips on the end. But there is a period between long and completely short when it's just getting the lip, and it bothers the crud out of me. I mean, I can, like, you'll get a loose hair that hits me in the nose, and I'm just like, stop it. And so if I had that, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I could maintain that without like just feeling uncomfortable quite a few times. Like, I mean, like, I'd have to constantly be brushing it.
Okay.
It's a good one.
That's
a good
good.
one.
Yeah, Sam Elliott. Very good pick. Very good pick. Very good pick. All right, I guess I'll move to my TJ Jazzy Jeff. The subcategory I'm going to go with here is the sideburns. So sideburns game.
Well, you mentioned you were.
I had it. I was a chops guy in high school. So I had to go this route. And again, there's so many people I could have picked for just this subcategory. So many iconic just sideburns. I want to, though, I think I'm going to go fast forward a little bit to April. We're going to be talking about basketball. And I'm going to go with one of the greats, Walt Frazier's mutton chops / mustache combo that he rocked. But really predominantly.
The strip is honest. I can't have been and made a pepper promise. My game of cannon blow your dick Bahamas.
I mean, that was a 70s.
So the thing is, and he said he grew it out.
Like
I did a little reading on it before. He grew it out because he was in New York. He's playing in New York, and it was like a place where you could express yourself or whatever. And most professionals at the time were not having, a professional, like these were like the hippies and all that would have it. But for him to be in the spotlight and have these, it was kind of early on with that craze. He's a fashion icon. I mean, he's like, you see those guys who play basketball now and come walking into the stadium with the craziest outfits. Walt Frazier was doing that in his time. And part of it was that iconic, dude, those chops, like, why didn't you just grow the beard? Like, it's everything except, it's like all the way to here. It's your whole cheek was covered, but it was great. So Walt Frazier's, I could have gone Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because he rocked them too. But when I compared the two, I said, I'm going to go with Walt Frazier's. It's one of the iconic ones that's there. It was in the top of the list of many of the lists that I looked up. So
immediately when you say mutton chops, I'm thinking, okay, who's some of the best chops I've ever seen in my life? Like, whatever. I, full disclosure, immediately thought of your picture from when you were younger that I saw. Like, it just came into my mind. It's like, oh yeah, those things were nice, man.
They were nice, man. I used to rock it, man. I think of like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine had good ones. Elvis Presley.
Oh no, hey! Don't give everybody away.
I ain't giving them away, but just so you know,
Elvis.
They're all great.
Elvis did have some great ones.
So, what do you guys like? How do you feel about sideburns without anything?
So I rocked. Okay, so I rocked like down to about here, like not full like jawline, a little longer for a little bit, but that was kind of like, I didn't let them get bushy though. Like that was kind of the 95 grungy type look I was going for then. But for quite a bit of time, I had them even with
the earlobe,
the inside of my ear right there, and like I rocked that. But if I shave completely, it goes all the way up to the top of the ear now, like up here.
So at what point, this is a debate, at what point is it facial hair? Does it have to go past the earlobe to be considered facial hair?
I think below the top of the ear.
Like I'm here.
Not mid-ear.
Yeah. So the nice thing on my beard and my hair is brown and my beard is red. So there's a very distinct line.
Yeah, line of demarcation right there.
Oh,
yeah. Like
that's the Mason-Dixon line. Look at that, buddy.
That's where it starts. Like right there.
It's like Neapolitan ice cream. It's the great divide.
The great divide.
Yeah. So
look, I'm gonna go number 2. And look,
number 3. But also the
number 2 on my list, number 3 on yeah.
That's where you're looking at it from.
I do that quite often. It's the second one I'm saying, but it's number 3 on the list.
Yeah, math is hard.
Math. I'm gonna go. You mentioned something, Rusty. You mentioned something, and when you say the name, it evokes you boom. But you also said something else. You said it kind of started the trend.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest. I think these guys brought it back, and I'm going with Duck Dynasty.
Oh yeah,
I'm going right to Cy, Uncle Cy. Right? You rank them all. You can rank them all. But look, when the show came out, it was freaking hilarious. We're from Louisiana.
Yeah, yeah.
So I love that too. I hate reality shows because I just know that it's all pretty much scripted. But I didn't care to know if it was scripted or not because Cy is freaking hilarious. It's like the Office of duck hunting.
Yeah.
Like they're just silly, right? But all five of them, you got Cy, Phil, Willie, Jep, and Jace, right?
Yeah.
Right? I'm
And Sadie as Christians.
Sadie's got a big beard too, you know, and yeah, but I'm going Cy Roberts.
I don't have any feathers.
Your beard's so hairy, you look like Chewbacca. Your beard's so dumb, it sits on the TV and watches the couch.
Okay.
Cy Roberts.
That's good.
And
So-
he's always got his drink. Man.
He does.
Yeah.
So if you notice here, this I'm not plugging this at all. I just got this as a gift. It's Wild Willie's beard care stuff that I've got rocking right here.
So old Duck Dynasty
shampoo conditioner.
Also, they're Christian.
Yes.
And they don't mince to share their faith. And they're from Louisiana. What about you?
Yeah.
What about Duck Dynasty?
It's weird seeing photos of them without the beard.
Yes.
Like,
but the thing is, it's like we were talking, like once you say the name, you're like beards. Like that was what they were known for. That is the thing. And honestly, I think they brought it back. I think they were a part of that big craze.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, obviously the Louisiana tie.
And the Louisiana and the Christian and I would love to have them come and speak.
What people don't know too, though, is that they're extremely North Louisiana.
Oh, wait,
which is a different country.
Yeah.
Than where we're used to. Which
They're
right
like
on the
Monroe
Georgia-
area.
They're like Southern Arkansas. Yeah. It's still Louisiana.
And what I love most about that show, not only just Cy, but how uncommercial that Phil is.
Yeah.
Like, what country is he in? He doesn't even live in the same country as his kids.
Played college football with Terry Bradshaw too.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
fun
and
stuff.
Glenn Berta.
Yeah, fun stuff. So great pick. I love that. Halfway through the mountain, and we got it. We got it there. What do we do though? Maybe we should halfway through the mountain celebrate it in a way by sending it to some of our sponsors.
And
they're not really sponsors, but if they want to be,
If you want to be our sponsor, you can look us up on the Rushmore at gmail.com. But hey, let's
send it to
our not sponsors and see what they got to say.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Fellow brethren, I'm Chris, founder of thebeardclub.com. We've been growing so fast, we had to start hiring clean shaving guys. Did you know our beards were designed to protect us from the elements? So if you're having a moment of weakness, just imagine how cold life would be with a bald face. Now, time Masija. I speak Inuit.
Before you embark on your adventure, be sure to stock up on our supplies. We got the logistics on lockdown, and we'll take care of the heavy lifting. Nice form, bro, Chacho.
But it won't grow overnight, so stay faithful to your facial hair, and who knows where your beard might take you. Once you've got a healthy face forest growing, it's crucial you know how to manage it. Our products will transform you from an uncut savage into a bearded king. Those are your bananas. And if you find yourself with a beard as dry as the Sahara, just moisturize your mane with our beard cream. Don't sweat it. Our products are priced for a peasant, yet perfect for a prince. Nice chest beard. Here's some body wash. Daikun Hata and Arabic. The journey to the top is never easy, but with our well-groomed guidance, you too can reach the peak of your potential. So make the commitment. Keep it growing, and we'll take care of the rest. Join thebeardclub.com.
Welcome back to the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more. And we are halfway through the mountain.
We are.
And Rusty, you're up for our second half of the mountain, and we call him Link. Link has a great beard.
Maybe looking forward, but who knows? Who knows?
Lincoln has a great beard, but hey, who is your Link on the mountain?
Yeah, so my next one, there's a saying that you'll immediately know as soon as I say it, it'll bring up his name, Fear the Beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm a big Oklahoma City Thunder. And so I was thinking back to some days when I used to go to the arena and watch them play and just watching James Harden. Just that iconic beard. I won't lie. That's part of the way that I model my beard is I'm like, man, I like the full beard.
So his is a little different.
Yeah.
And I talked about it because when we were going to look him up, it was like, oh yeah, he's got an iconic beard.
Yeah.
He is a Benjamin for me, not because it's not iconic and not because it doesn't have a great. There's just something about his beard that I don't know. It drives me crazy. Like it to me, it looks like, all right. So sometimes it looks like he like molded it out of styrofoam,
right?
And then he just like cut this area out. There is like solid walls on the inside of his mouth right here, like all the way around. It looks like almost like a pizza oven, right? Like it's a great beard, obviously, but also I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Harden, right? Rockets guy, jumps all around. Now he wants to go back to the Rockets. As a sports guy, he's not one of my faves.
Right.
He's not one of my faves.
So you talked about in the last one when you brought up Duck Dynasty, seeing pictures of people without beards, seeing James Harden's college photo from like Arizona State. Wasn't it Arizona State or anyway, wherever he played is crazy. It's not even the same person. Like it's insane. It does look too perfect. I think that's the bit. Like it looks like what it looks like is like you created a character.
Have you ever seen that commercial where he's like, "I really like your beard," and he's like, "It's not real," and he's like, "Nor are my tattoos," and they like rips the tattoos off.
Right.
It's like this isn't a real beard.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, it's iconic, right? It just came off of my Benjamin. So you were destroying my Benjamins list right now, but I can't disagree with that. Fear the beard, if that's going to be your catchphrase.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And he started that in 2009. Like when he joined the Thunder, the reason he started like not shaving his beard was just because he didn't have time to between practice and stuff like that. And so he let it grow. And then it eventually turned into like a Philadelphia style beard. And so like that to me, just that model is, I'm like, man, just that Philadelphia style beard, which is when you grow it out thick, you just let it go and you do a little bit of trimming. That's really that Philadelphia style beard, which is kind of what I go for.
Yeah, I'm pulling him up here at Arizona State.
Boom.
You're right. Pulling him up, and I'm like, I wouldn't even recognize that was him. I mean, like, what? Which one of these guys is him? Oh, there he is. That's got to be him.
That's him.
Oh man.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, great pick. Love it. Can't disagree. Cannot disagree. But I'm going to move on to my link. Subcategory number 3 is the mustache. We've shared the mustache. You shared Sam Elliott, one of the best mustaches of all time. But I think I've got you beat here. Now, it's a different mustache. There's a wide variety in mustaches, obviously. There's different things you can do with it. You can go full solid. You can do whatever. My favorite mustache of all time, and the most iconic for me, Raleigh Fingers. Raleigh Fingers.
Baseball
guy. Pitcher back in the day.
Hey, and you had him on your All Rushmore team.
He's on my All Rushmore team. So
his fingers went into the windup or into his stretch. I heard Joe hollered, "Be alert." So I got halfway ready, and he just made a great pitch on me.
An Academy Award performance strikes out bench.
So just a great, we talk about waxing the mustache and curling it. I remember, so I had a bunch of baseball cards as a kid, and I had a Raleigh Fingers card from my dad. And seeing that mustache, the what you have, the masculinity to just be able to rock that mustache and continue it is just beyond what.
And anytime I see someone like that, it's automatically you're rocking the Raleigh Fingers.
So I have a few facts though, because I checked this out. Did you know he grew the facial hair as a joke in 1972 as a member of the Oakland A's? And he actually retired in 1986 because of it. Now, let me explain this. So Reggie Jackson was a teammate, and he came from the off season, and he came to spring training with a mustache. So they decided, hey, you know what? We'll all grow one. It was him and a few other people. They decided to grow one, and he says the only reason we did. He said we thought the manager Dick Williams would insist everyone would have to shave off their mustache, including Reggie, which is really the only reason they did it. They knew they were going to have to shave it anyway. Well, what happened is they started winning. And, if you watch baseball, it's a very superstitious sport. A lot of sports are that way, but they continue to win. And it even became kind of like a mustache day at the park. It was this whole deal. Like it became bigger than what it really was. Now, he said this. He told us, being the manager, told the team that if you make the ball club after spring training and you have a mustache on opening day, he'd give you $300. So they all were like, hey, extra incentive to do that. So they had that. Fast forward, he has a Hall of Fame career. It's just, his numbers are all over the place. But at the end of his time in Oakland, he went to a couple different teams. This is how he retired from it. He was going to be signed by the Reds. Pete Rose tried to recruit him to Cincinnati, but there was this thing where Cincinnati's management would not let any of their players have facial hair at all. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to figure out, it's an iconic. It's like James Harden having to shave his beard to go to the
yeah.
It's part of his brand, really. So they said, unfortunately, it has to be applied to everyone, so there's no favoritism or anything like that. And he said, his quote was, "The mustache is my trademark, and it has been for 15 years. I'm not about to shave it off just to play baseball." And he said, "I would only do it if the owner, Marge Schott, had her dog shaved," which didn't happen. I.e., Raleigh Fingers retires from baseball out of a refusal to shave his mustache. He played for a while. He had a Hall of Fame career. Maybe that was just the writing on the wall. But Raleigh Fingers, man, iconic, the curly mustache. It's just
like the ultimate stick it to the man.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not shaving off my stash.
So, dude, I love that pick. Yeah. I love that pick. Raleigh Fingers. I immediately think of Josiah Freeman.
Yeah.
And a guy from the Assembly of God in Louisiana. He rocks.
Don't give away my George.
Oh, no, Josiah's in the George. Well,
I immediately
so he's eliminated. He must be a
yeah.
But I love this.
I immediately go Waluigi. Like
Mario,
like the purple, like I automatically super.
But he has
long,
like up and down kind of deal, right? And that could even make a list. Waluigi has got a nice little,
that's a great one.
A little stachio. But look, I'm going to stay in the same realm, kind of crushing with you guys.
Oh,
kind of crushing, right? You went Harden, the beard. You went the Raleigh Fingers, the stash. Those guys are both athletes. I'm going with another athlete. Right? I'm going with another guy that was nicknamed The Beard. He also
So I'm staring at the catcher. This is the intimidation face you're going to see.
I don't see it. Yeah, dude, I don't fear the beard.
That's interesting.
It's just a beard.
Just a beard, guys, huh? Well, what about now?
I'm going to be sick. I'm going to go check on him.
You're welcome.
He also was nicknamed B Weezy. But I'm going with Brian Wilson.
Good one.
The relief pitcher from the Giants / Dodgers. But here's the thing, couple things. He was an LSU college.
Yes.
He graduated LSU. He was an amazing pitcher. And in the year 2013, he was a free agent. There was a bunch of people that were looking out for his services. And the Yankees messaged and said, listen, we want you to come play for us. We have a no facial hair policy, and we will pay you an extra $1 million. He was going to get paid $1 million to shave his face above everybody else if you come with us. And he said, heck no. And he went to the Dodgers for less. And because he didn't want to shave it. I remember there was a time where he was rocking kind of like a ponytail man bun situation. So he had like ponytails on both sides.
Yeah.
But his entrance song was Jump Around. He'd come out to jump around. I love this guy. This guy is the epitome of adrenaline. He was a nasty pitcher. I hated the fact that he pitched for the Giants and the Dodgers. I was so excited he might have come to the Yankees, but then I was like, is he going to just rock a stash? I mean, what's he going to do? But yeah, I'm going with another one. I'm going crushing on the beard, crushing on the why he didn't
Staying in the athletic realm,
and didn't want to shave by going to another team.
Right.
Similar. But I'm going with none other as my link, Brian B. Weezy, the Beard Wilson.
He's also a great character, because if you ever watched him do the in studio stuff, hilarious.
Dude, my favorite was when he dyed the beard.
Yeah.
And it looks so insanely fake.
Yeah.
Like it's like jet black. Jet black. You like Brian Wilson? Do you know Brian Wilson? You know who he is?
Yeah. I mean, I gotta respect the no, I won't come, because so that ponders the question, what is the minimum amount of money you would take to shave off your beard?
Oh,
that's a good
I'd
question.
take $1 million.
$1 million.
I would
I would take $1 million
I had
too.
a contract on the line with the Yankees.
I would I'd take 10 grand. I'd take probably less than that.
I take whatever my debts are that I have. Pay my truck and my student
Jesus
loans
paid off all your debts. So.
Hey, financial debts. My student loan amount, and then because it'd grow right back.
Yeah. I mean, I've already done it once. Gave the kidney away for free. So
I love it.
For the right cause, it's gone.
Yeah.
But I will grow it back because I know it.
That's a good question. Yeah. All right. Well,
so there is a link, man.
We made it to a man who has no beard. To George.
To
the number one, the pinnacle of the mountain. The number one. Where are you going to go for the greatest facial hair of all time? And you can't pick yourself, Rusty. What you got?
Yeah. So I'm going a character from a book, from a film, going Gandalf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You cannot pass! Gandalf!
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
A really fun, interesting fact about Gandalf, if you kind of start looking through it, Fellowship of the Rings, it starts off really long, kind of wild, kind of straggly. By the end of the series, it's shorter, it's neater as he's transforming into Gandalf the White. His beard transforms as well, and so it's something that I didn't know until I started really researching for this, because I was like, man, I know who my number one is. I already knew that the moment we sat down and was talking about, hey, this is the topic, knew who I was going number one, and I was like, let me look at some stuff, and I was like, that's a really cool progression throughout the whole story of his beard. It follows his from nothing to the gray to the white, his beard transforms along the way.
I cannot hate this. This is an excellent pick. Immediately thought of beard.
Yes.
Immediately thought of beard.
For sure. And you shall not pass a razor over this beard.
You shall not pass!
Not pass.
I had to do it. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, no, it's iconic character. I thought about going with some fictional characters because there's a lot of great fictional ones, which may continue to be mentioned. But yeah, I love it. I love the pick, man. Can't complain on that.
Nice. I love that. That's a great George. Where are you going for your team?
Okay, my George, the number one is a Rushmore, Kirk, with you, and we're gonna go with ZZ Top.
Oh,
you can't think facial hair and not think of Billy Gibbons and Dustin Hill, right? You can't. You know what's funny? Two things that you didn't mention there. 3-member band. They didn't always have the beards. So they had beards, but not to the length that they had. They grew it out. What they did is they started growing it out. Ironically, the drummer of that band, his last name is Beard.
And he doesn't have
he has no beard. Ironically, right? He's the one named Beard without that. But did you know that in the 80s, in 1984, Gillette was running a campaign where they were looking for iconic beards and for someone to shave their beard for like an advertisement campaign or something. And they approached ZZ Top. $1 million. Here you go. To shave their beards. Nope, we're not doing it. They didn't do it. They did not bow down. They did not be a part of that. You know who actually was a part of that and actually took it on? Lemmy, my Rosie. Lemmy has a shot where Gillette did a campaign with him, clean shaven, really odd look. He's already weird looking, but let's go back to the top. You can't beat those beards. The length of it is crazy. It's the, you know, most of the people we're talking about today, seeing them separated from the beard is a total different person. ZZ Top is as much known for the beards and the look as they are their music. I mean, and maybe that's unfortunate because their songs are really good.
And I'll tell you this, for a long time, I thought they were just a 2-member band.
Right.
Because of the beards.
Because
like you only saw the beards.
They're the two characters, right? I thought it was Z and Z, right? Like I thought it was...
And I was shocked neither one of them's name were Z.
Right.
It's not Zane and Zach.
No, it's Billy and Dusty.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Rushmore, for all the reasons you said.
Let's go. We haven't had a Rushmore in a while, I feel.
Yeah. So there you go. ZZ Top is.
Well, I've already jumped on this wagon. I love ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I love them musically.
How?
Come on, right there, a little Armageddon.
Yeah, there you
right.
Go.
Look, I love ZZ Top. I love their music. I love their style. I love all about that. I remember as a kid, like kind of like looking at the beards and going, "Gosh, how long does it take?" And it's still, how long does it take?
Yeah.
How long does it take to get one that long without it breaking, cutting, catching in a treadmill? I mean, how long does it take to grow that long, right?
Right, exactly. So,
yeah. Well, look, we've already talked about yours. I'm going to crush more with Rusty.
Oh.
I'm going literary, and I'm coming with Gandalf.
Oh, there you go.
Gandalf was the #1 on my list from the jump.
All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.
From Jump Street. But look, I actually looked up, and I was like, gosh, there's so many good literary beards.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And I could...
In Harry Potter.
Well,
there's other ones.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, just those two alone, we could have made this whole list.
Yeah.
This whole
Correct.
All of the Hobbit fellas, right? All of those guys are epic. I mean, almost all of them. Epic.
Not
beards.
Legolas. Legolas did not.
But when you say Lord of the Rings and you say Gandalf, you immediately think of that epic wizard Merlin style beard, right? I mean, you go right there, right? I almost I almost went the Harry Potter side. You know, there's a couple of guys, and those guys might show up in the Benjamins, but Gandalf is definitely #1 when it comes to beards. Like when you think of beard, you got to have a Gandalf.
Yeah,
and that's where I'm going. I'm going for Gandalf.
Bilbo was meant to find the ring, in which case you also were meant to have it.
I'm going for Gandalf. You're going for Harden. I'm going for Gandalf.
Peter Jackson actually wanted Gandalf's beard originally to be 3 feet long because they thought it would be epic, like striding on the horses as he was riding across, holding up the staff, like just this, like this cape of a beard just flapping. But they couldn't get it to actually happen. Like some reason, the technology of like having it that long wouldn't stay. Like him talking, he was like it hurt if they tried. Like so, his beard was what it was. Still massively long.
Yeah, I mean, this is close to about the longest I've ever had my beard. For me, probably personally.
Yeah,
I might have had it a little longer, but I haven't really measured it. 3 foot. 3 foot's quite a distance. Right? Because
I don't know if
I'd say this is probably maybe 6 inches.
Yeah.
6-inch ribbon curls.
Well, great mountain, man. I just man, So many good ones, and the good thing is we're not ending right here.
I have a ton left
because we have a lot that
I
I
have a
can
ton
still
left.
mention. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 10 more that I can mention, so I'm hoping I can fit them all in our next segment, Kirk, which is what?
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Let's get it.
Welcome back to the Rushmore Show. We're going to talk about another guy, Benjamin Franklin, who, for the most part, didn't really have a beard, I don't think. He may have rocked it. He just never was taken a picture of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selfie.
Yeah, they didn't have the selfie stick,
right.
a la last episode. Anybody who has a selfie, he wanted to be more manly because having
He
a
was
selfie
flying
stick.
a kite, not a selfie stick. That
Yeah.
was it. That was
So today we're going to do all about the Benjamins. First 2023, all about the Benjamins. It's a new season. We're going to keep a little bit of the same style. Rusty, you're new to the show, so let's go through it. It's going to be a fantasy style draft. We're going to draft our best beards left available. You got first pick. I've got third pick. Andy's in the middle. We're going to snake it back around. Once you pick somebody for your team, it's gone. We're going to try and pick the next 12 iconic facial hairs and build out a team of basically 12 more that have missed the mountain. So you're up first, Rusty, with your number 1 draft pick in the 2023 Beard Draft.
With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft.
You were going with?
Yeah, so I'm going biblical. I'm going Moses.
All right.
I'm going Moses.
I didn't even think biblical. What a lame pastor am I?
I didn't either.
I didn't think biblical. Yes. Yeah, and I saw God. I saw Zeus out there too. You're going Moses. Nice.
I'm going Moses. Specifically, the 1956 movie. The 10 Commandments Moses. We were sitting there. I was thinking, like, man, all right, where are we? I was like, just that iconic movie of him up on the mountain, staff raised high, just lightning bolts behind him, and just the beard flowing majestically. Like,
good stuff. All right, my first one on my Benjamins. How could we have made it all the way through here and not mentioned Grizzly Adams, man?
Grizzly Adams had a beard?
Grizzly Adams, yeah, right, exactly.
Grizzly Adams had a beard.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
That's my next one.
Well, that's a good pick.
Well, you know, brother,
Now that's Shawn Michaels. He's a tough guy, isn't he?
Let me tell you something, brother.
I've got a better pick.
Yes.
And I'm going with none other than Hulk Hogan with the Foo Rockety blonde chocolatey. Let's go.
I love it.
I get another.
I have to delete him off now.
None other than I'm going to go with a cartoon. I'm going with the best mustache, Yosemite Sam.
Any one of you lily-livered, bow-legged varmints care to slap leather with me?
Yosemite Sam.
Man.
Bang!
Okay.
Banging them.
Coming in hot. You've taken a lot off of my list already. So
I went 2 mustaches.
Here's where I'm going to go. Here's where I'm going to go because coming back around round two, I want to take him before someone else does. I'm going to go with none other than Ronald Ulysses Swanson.
I've been developing the Swanson Pyramid of Greatness for years. It's a perfectly calibrated recipe for maximum personal achievement. Categories include capitalism, God's way of determining who is smart and who is poor.
Ron Swanson. The mustache is great, man.
Ron
I gotta have it. What you got, Rusty?
All right. Before anyone else grabs him, because we've not mentioned him, good old Abraham Lincoln.
Good one. Yeah.
Honest Abe.
Either the amendment or this Confederate peace. You cannot have both.
How many hundreds of thousands?
Honest Abe, man. You know what's funny? His beard is iconic, but it's not that great. It is iconic. My dad had that. But it is iconic.
All right, round 3. Where are you starting, Rusty?
Yeah, so I mentioned his weird, sibling-ish brother or whatever he is, but I'm going Mario.
Oh, yeah.
It's me, Mario. Woohoo!
Oh, that's great.
Mario.
Mario.
Which new movie? Oh, yeah, coming out. Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
the whole reason he has that little stash is because in Donkey Kong Mario, it was because of his nose, they couldn't tell what it was. And so they had to make the pixels darker, and he got a stash that way.
There you go.
Nice.
I love it. Okay, my next one. Where do I want to go? West Coast Choppers, Paul Tutel Sr.
And don't bother coming in tomorrow, get your Terminator.
Come on, man. That thing goes down the handlebar
all the way down to the neck.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All the way down the neck. Now, look, I'm coming in hot because this is the guy I popped in and off my list over and over. I'm going none other than Captain Jack Sparrow.
You will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
Man, Jack Sparrow.
Another one away from me.
Dude, he was on my list. Quite frankly, I was gonna roll with him. He was one of the ones that bounced off. And I am gonna go, dude. I really was thinking about goatees.
Okay.
Goatees. They just. And there was two that consistently came to mind. One of them I already quoted, so I'm going to leave him out there. Not going stone cold. I'm going to go with none other than Tony Stark.
Oh, good one.
From Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man, man. Especially Robert Downey Jr.'s, man. Rocking that one.
My list is getting small now.
Bang. Bang, there's my 4.
My last pick here. It's between two of them. But I'm going to go with, from Mythbusters, Jamie Heineman.
When in doubt, C4.
So he's got the mustache that's like hanging over the mouth.
Yeah.
I love that. It's really good. So,
all right.
Jamie Heineman.
Last pick of the draft. Mr. Irrelevant.
Who you got?
Oh man. I am going good old Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not.
Oh,
nice. So good. I was very concerned. Very concerned. We had some other fellas that would make our list. Now, I mean, those are all great lists. I'm surprised about you.
Yeah,
you didn't go Jeff Hardy.
No, I didn't.
You didn't go Jeff Hardy.
Right.
I was leaving him there for you.
Yeah. If I could break the rules and say the one that I just eliminated offline between the two, the other one was Walter Brimley. Diabetes. But Heineman, I felt like had the better.
Anyway. Great show, facial hair. There's so many other guys out there. Wow. I mean, all Dumbledore. Like nobody said a Hogwarts. Yeah.
Right.
Dumbledore. Yeah, and then whatever.
Hagrid.
Break the rules.
But we are there, and man, it's been a great show, Rusty. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having me. Joining the squad, the Rushmore community. We'd love to have you on again. Sound like a video game guy, movie guy, that kind of thing. You jump in and kind of roll with us, man. We'll go with this. This is episode 2 of the 2023 season. This is it. It is our 54th episode completely.
Come on.
And man, we're not done.
We're not.
We got Kevin up next.
Next week.
We're coming next week with action hero actors. So, who are the most iconic actors that play action movies? We're coming with that.
We're excited for that one.
Man, it's been a fantastic season so far. And gosh, you know how we did this thing, right? We're done. We're already done.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Ran through the beards, man.
Ran through.
Running right through them with a fine-tooth comb and saying goodbye like we always do. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4.
And nothing more.
Peace.